Welcome back to Casual Conversations, here with my beautiful and smart, talented co-host, Elena Sweetser. I am your host, Ryan Bean, and we thought today would be a perfect day to do vision boards. I've
Yes.
never done one. My co-host here, Elena, has done them for multiple years, and we did discuss maybe 2 months ago when she
Yeah.
said we were going to do vision boards. I said I was doing a vision board this year, so we thought, what better time to do this?
And with you
Shout out
guys.
to my wife as well to make sure we timed our episodes
I just want to
correctly.
say something. The prep work she did for him was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you
And
don't want to
she
see the
even
back behind this counter right
She
here.
set him up with the pen, getting the printing, the
She
tape back here.
no. She did nothing. She did nothing with the printing. She did nothing with the printing. First of all, she tried to make it sound because she doesn't want. She wants to be hardcore, where she doesn't do everything for me. She knows you guys know I'm not good on technology. I don't go on the
He's not.
computers. It's a waste of life to me. I hate being on them. So she's like, no, you're printing them. You're printing them. And then guess what happened? I printed 30 pages of things I didn't need for these
And he
horrible pictures.
Ran out his ink.
Yeah, the ink doesn't look good. The size of the pictures doesn't look good. Allison would have been so much simpler
Yeah.
if she would have just done it.
But guess what? This is
I'm like, she's a smoking hot secretary. Be a smoking hot secretary.
But this is where it pays off to have a millennial friend. Right?
Yes, it
Because
does.
I do my vision boards digitally.
Yes.
Ryan, for those who can't see the camera, he printed out a board as if you remember back in the day, like
Yeah, look at
elementary
that.
school, you had
Yeah.
science fair.
Yeah, look at
And
that.
you had those little cardboard things, or your book, your book essays?
Oh yeah, 100%. Guys, I used to get. By the way, she used to give me a hard time with this trifold protective board, but I think I got A's on every one of my science projects, all my different fold out things. So I am gonna transfer this to a digital form because she's gonna teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
But we thought for today, for the people that don't want to do it, or like myself, it's just a good idea to put your goals out there and what you
Yeah.
want to achieve. In our last episode, we went through our achievements from 2025, and it was very easy to rely on the thing or to get sucked into the things that we didn't accomplish. And I thought the last episode, even though it was a little bit longer, we apologize for that. I think it was very meaningful because it really allowed us to take a deep dive into what were some of the big milestones and things we accomplished in 2025. So now let's carry that momentum into 2026, set ourselves up for what our goals are, what we want to achieve. And I think for me, I'm a visual person. I don't spend a lot of time on the computer, so this is probably better for me anyway, because it's going to be my face in my office when I'm working. And it's going to be a constant reminder of what I'm working for 2026. So,
And a lot of people might think that's silly, but when you start to speak into existence of the things you want to happen in your life, subconsciously your body and your mind is going to make it happen. And because I was looking at my vision board, because I had my real estate coach last year made me do it. Like he was like, if there's anything you do in December, because mentally it was in December when I finally snapped after I did this. I was like, okay, I'm going to make these things happen.
Yep.
Because I was in a pity party all of 2024,
Yep.
So anyways, and I'm looking at it now and I'm like, okay, accomplished. I didn't accomplish the books, didn't accomplish the fitness stuff. My business accomplished, DFW accomplished, strong marriage, and we found ourselves back accomplished. Didn't have my kid, house, a podcast. We didn't have 2,000 subscribers, but there's still time.
We blame you guys. We're
But I look
blaming
at, like,
all of
the
you for not
trips, and I'm
sharing the podcast with enough of your family and friends.
Yeah.
We need you guys to step up your game.
We're not blaming ourselves. We're not the victims here. We are the victims here. But then I look at the trip section of mine. I'm like, done. So it's just so wild that, if you just really zone in on the things you really want to make happen, you will find a way.
Well, you make it a priority.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's these things that you got to prioritize life, and you got to figure out what's most important to you, and you got to be able to ignore the noise.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to ignore outside influence if these are things that you really want to see happen for you for the next year. And I know a lot of people that have done it. And I do know that when you listen to a lot of entrepreneurs and successful people that we follow on their podcasts and things like that, most of them do something very similar to this, or they do exactly this. And they have their goal set up for the year. And at the end of the day, like Elena just said, she just went through her vision board for 2025 and she accomplished almost everything that she wanted to accomplish. And even though she didn't maybe get to exactly where she wanted to on the other things, because I'm staring at it right now, she still made progress in those areas. Her health, her working, her fitness, she still made strides to be better than she was in 2025. So anyway, we thought this was a good thing to do for this episode. We're going to do it live for you guys. And thought it would be fun. And this is, again, shout out to my wife for saying, hey, if you're going to do your vision board, do it for the people that are watching, and set it up for the very first episode of 2026. So when this gets launched in the very first week, this will be our goals for 2026. So
All right. So how do you do a vision board? You probably can't start on it because you've never done it.
I gave myself categories,
Yeah.
and I go, okay, these are the categories I know are kind of important. As you guys can see, I'll show you guys mine so far. That's about all I have. It's very blank. I've got some things I want to accomplish here, some pictures and some images as well. But I'm also going to do a lot more writing, and I've already kind of written down the things I wanted to do here, which we're going to transfer over. But yeah, so why don't you lead the way on what we should be doing?
So, like I said, there's the different categories, but there's different, like we call it pillars, right?
Okay.
And so on those pillars, the main one is personal. Like, what do you want to do in personal? Do you want to create new habits? Do you want to have something with your family? Like for me this year, I really wanted to zone in a strong marriage, faith led, and my husband coming onto my team was that for me on my vision board. You know, so what do you want your relationships to look like? What do you want to look like as a mom for me or as a friend? Things like that, right? Spiritual. You got financial. What do you want your finances to look like? You have professional, right? What do you want your business to look like? And then you have outside things like what are your dreams and desires, right? So like dreams, desires be like, where would I like to travel?
Yep.
Okay. So let's start with which one do you want to start with first?
Let's go with family and relationships.
Okay.
I know that's where a lot of my focus was going to be for this year. Is probably the biggest part on my board. So let's start with that.
Okay. So I'm doing my digital for anybody who's not watching the video.
Yep.
So my thing that I had on my vision board for 2025, that didn't happen. And I'm grateful it didn't happen this year because I think it would have this year wouldn't have been what it is. I think God was preparing me for it to happen next year. But I wanted to have boy-girl twin this year. I wanted to be pregnant again, and I want to be pregnant with boy-girl twin. So I'm going to keep that on my vision board for 2026.
Cole, get busy, buddy. Cole, get busy.
For family, that's what I want. And I'm going to keep my strong marriage and strong faith because obviously Cole and I going in business together is going to be a lot of learning curves.
Right.
So I want those two things for sure to stay on my vision board for next year for my family. What about you?
I want to do more family dinners.
Okay.
I think that Allison and I, it's something we try to make a priority, but I think we need to prioritize it more for next year, especially with Dylan going into college next year. I really want to put an emphasis, at least through the summer months before he goes off to college, to spend as much time around the dinner table as possible. I feel like that's where we pray together and we share a lot of our stories together. We share our days together. And I just love having family dinners, and I like to cook with my family as well. So family dinners, doing more family dinners when we can, because everyone's schedule is crazy, but we can still make more of a priority for family dinners.
That's where you have to be more zoned in. Where like I specifically, instead of saying I want to be pregnant next year, I say I want a boy-girl twin.
Yep.
Or just saying I want twins.
I want at least 3 family dinners per month or per week.
3 family dinners
per week. Yep.
Okay.
I'm about to do
Remember what Allison said? Don't write big and write. What did she say? Slow, Ryan.
I know.
Because you don't want your writing to get sloppy. That's why I do everything on a computer, because my handwriting is trash.
I probably didn't think this through with having to write things up. So 3 family dinners per week is something that I want to focus on. I also want to focus on more sharing more with the family as far as what's going on in our lives, what is our struggles,
So
what are
why don't
we.
you guys have do you want to have weekly recaps, monthly recaps?
I think we could probably do like a weekly, hey, where's everyone at kind of mentally? What's going on? How was your week? What were some of the highs and lows? Like a high low. What's your high low of the week? What was your high low? We used to do a high low of the day. I think me and Allison used to do that a long time ago, but maybe a high and low of the week per family member.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can't just be random on it. So it's like when you do your family dinners, are you going to make Thursdays your go-to family dinner night?
It's hard because everything changes because of cheer. We don't know schedules yet, things like that. We will fine tune it. Okay. So we say 3 days a week is what I can commit to, and then we'll figure out how to make those 3 days, but it might change the days. So I can't, because our kids' schedule and then Dylan works. Yeah. So we're now juggling 4 people's schedules, but we can make 3 evenings a week, in my opinion, as family dinners. Yeah. So high, low, weekly recaps. Okay. What else?
Okay. Then I've got, so then I look at mine. a house. I know you guys are like, you just bought a house this year. Cole and I want our family home. So I'm not just saying a house. I'm going to put specifically where, what the house, I'm going to put the picture of what I want the house to look like. My husband wants a pool. He grew up with a pool. So we'll have something with a pool in there. And so I'm really going to be as detailed as possible on the house that I put on my vision board of
Mhm.
what I'm willing into 2026.
I like that. I'm going to put Dylan getting into his college of choice, which he's already been accepted to. So getting him off to University of Arkansas. Can't believe I'm going to become a Hog fan, apparently, but getting Dylan into his college is going to be something that we focus on as a family to make sure he gets to accomplish that dream. So that's what one thing I want to add on.
All right, there you go. Okay, so I'm looking more on my
Shout out to Allison for the tape being prepared. Thank you for that.
my personal. I'm what I'm doing. So I think everybody has their own kind of difference. So what I did last year is I did one, what I say, 16 things, but I did where I did like financial stuff, business on the top, and then I did partial business, physical, and yeah, I guess business and physical stuff. And then I did my personal, and then I did traveling where I want to travel. That's how I did my board. So I'm going to go, how about, because so we're not all over the place.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot that tie into my
Yes.
categories.
Yep.
Let's start on top one and kind of go over that.
Yeah.
And then you just tie into where you tie.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So for me, as a business owner, it is really easy to slip on your taxes. And so I put that I always want to be zero owed. And this year, when my tax account told me how much I owed, although I wanted to die on the spot, I was able to write the check like it was nothing and pass it over. And that is a big deal to me because before I was stressed out when I was writing that checks. But I was way more diligent this year with every closing, shuffling something in an account that I just didn't think about, or before I wasn't as strict about it.
Okay.
So that was a very big thing for me as a business owner.
So you want to be more disciplined on the financial side.
I want to always be ahead of my taxes as a business owner.
Yep.
Realtors are notorious
Yep.
for being behind on taxes.
Yep.
So to me, as a business grows, I want to make sure I am very strict about our business expenses because I don't want to build something big just for it to be ripped away.
Yep.
Because I wasn't diligent on it.
Yep.
And then that also ties into personal stuff.
Yep.
Debt free. I wanted to be debt free. This year I became debt free. You know, like I kind of said in the first part of January, you know, that's the business expenses were going last year and the money wasn't coming in. I racked up a little bit more business debt than I anticipated. And I paid everything off this year. All my credit cards are at a zero.
How nice is that to go into 2026 like with a clean slate?
Yeah.
And again, coming off that successful year with this momentum going into 2026. So you're already putting yourself in a better position than you started 2025 at from a financial standpoint. Is because she was diligent, she was disciplined. And, you know, it's very easy to get sucked into when you see that money, wanting to spend it. And so again, but when you run a business, you got to save money. You got to put money away. So I like that. So as we're on the professional one of the things I want to do is I want to read at least one leadership/business book per month.
Okay, so I have that too. I have 12 business books.
Okay, so 12 business books. So
Which that went to shit for me this year because even my book club ladies, I'm surprised I'm still in that thing.
They only keep you around because they like you. Because
I'm good
anyone else would have got kicked out by now.
But I just did not have time to read anything this year.
So one leadership book per month for me. And I did better this year with my reading and books on thanks to my wife. You know, we still consider audiobooks as books on or as getting books, but I did I think I got maybe 8 to 10 this year, which if you go back years past, it was probably one every other year because I'm not a big reader. But there are a lot of things because again, I'm jumping in the book that you gave me. That's the very first one I'm going to finish. But again, I want to start January clean with a book every single month. And I got to make time to do it, especially the nights I'm super bored. I scroll and I'm on the freaking, I just watch mindless TV or I watch the same thing that I watch over and over again. Let's read.
Easier.
Actually, I should say one leadership book per month, 20 pages per day.
Well, that's what
if you do that, you're going to get the books.
Read 20 to 30 pages a day.
Yep.
That's very easy to do.
Yep.
So that's on it. Now,
I'm going to put that on
what do you want? So this is still kind of on the business financial stuff. I'm not going to say the number because I don't feel comfortable.
Yep,
but
I do.
But I'm same with you. But what do you want your savings account to look like? Now, I will tell you what's wild is I leaped big last year, considering where I was financially,
Mhm.
and I hit it this year. When I'm looking at my account and I'm looking at what I did, and I was like, okay, cool. I
Mhm.
never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
So already changed my number in here. So you don't have to say the number. I'm not going to say the number, but I know what I want to be in my savings
Uh-huh.
by the end of the year. That includes being $0 owed to the taxes, debt free, credit cards are at zero, and what do I want my savings?
So I will, again, I don't know what that number is. Allison maintains all of the household finances for us. She probably has a number in mind, but I do know that I want to have a certain protection level in there. So that will be in there. And it'll also be a number that if I want to make a move on an investment, hopefully I'm in a position to do that. We'll see how next year goes. Again, I have a son going off into college. So now
No, you don't think that way. You put it on there.
Okay,
That includes son going to college.
all right, so I'd have to get with Allison on where that number needs to be because again, she maintains all of that, but that will be on there. I will say that I will say that I would like to increase my income by an X amount next year. There's X amount I want to make more a year. I will throw that out there. So I would like to increase my salary or my take home pay by a minimum of 50 grand next year.
Okay, there you go. Put it
So,
up.
and again, I usually don't share that kind of stuff, but
That's
we feel
okay.
like, hey, we're going to be real on this podcast. That's what I would like to earn. I would like to increase that by next year. Whether that be through real estate, investments, whatever it end up be, I would like to do that next year.
Okay, so that ties into my business then. I'll go into mine.
Okay.
This year I wanted to sell 35 units and do 15 million. We ended up doing 54 units and 23 million. So I am going to increase that now to, I want to hit the 3 digits, 100 units, and hit surpass or hit 30 million in volume.
Okay. So 30 million in volume off of 23 million bucks. That's almost a 20, was that about 20%? That's a big jump.
But you look at it though, I have 3 more people on my team.
You
now.
do? Yeah. No, it's definitely achievable. 100% achievable. You have to believe it's achievable first, right? Before you can do it, but it's absolutely achievable.
If you look at my production volume this year, I hired somebody back in April, and she really just became a TC admin. She did 2 deals under the team, but she was mainly a TC admin role. And then I didn't hire my buyer's agent till August, I think it was. She's only closed 2 since then. She obviously has bigger goals. The team that she came from before was just a different culture base, so she's like in that transition. But she's already she's got a listing hitting the market at the beginning of the year, so she's gearing up. So now I've got her doing production, and then now my husband.
Yeah.
So if you take that into consideration, I technically did 52.
Yeah.
Or what's 54? 50. What's 54 minus 4? Use me as your realtor. Smart. So I really did 50 units on my own.
I love it. It's awesome.
So I think that's more than achievable, which ties into side. I want to continue to rank top, not just 1% individually, but as a team.
I love that. Like I said, put the focus on the team, make the team better, which actually leads into my next thing on my professional is I want to continue to mentor my team. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did until I got put in this role a couple of years ago. But the more that I've put into the company, the company coaching, I got to be part of that this year, where we actually got to instruct 23 individuals, I believe, in our group. They had me be a big part of that, which I was very grateful that they saw that there was value in me doing that. But it's continue to mentor others and to see them be their best selves. I really want to continue to put more into that next year. Again, been doing that the last couple of years. It's something I enjoy doing. It's something I want to continue to do, but I still got to continue to get better at it. So mentor others is another big professional.
Let's go.
Mentor others.
Now this kind of ties into business still. I started a networking group called DFW Professionals. I put last year that I wanted to open it up to 2 chapters because I built my chapter on the Tarrant County side, but as we move to Highland Village, I would like to open up a chapter here because that's where I'm going to shift a lot of my business, and then I'll have my other business team members work the Tarrant County side. That's the plan. So anyways, I'm going to keep that on because I plan to move to our family home next year. And I do want to create that second chapter. Side note with that, I didn't get to lead my DFW professionals as well as I thought I would this year because I got so buried into my work growing as fast as it did. I couldn't really prioritize something outside of work, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But now that I have Cole to help leverage that, I can continue to focus on building DFW. So I really like to create my networking group as a brand.
I love that.
Yeah.
Great one. Another one on the professional, and then we'll switch to a different category just so we keep these things moving for you guys. And again, we may not finish these today. We'll kind of show you where we're at. This is more just as a guideline. And thankfully, as you can see, Elena's done this, so she's kind of the expert at it. It's just guiding you guys on,
how to think.
Yeah, how to think. And, I think it'd be good if you get your spouse bought into these as well. But these could be individual goals. These are just things that you want to achieve. I want to see this podcast continue to. I want to see the podcast continue to grow. And I think getting 2,000 subscribers is a lofty goal. It's about 10 times, 10x where we're at today. But we know we can do it. And me and Elena are continue to be dedicated to this. And we want to we know we're getting the right messaging out there, but like anything else, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So 2,000 subscribers, see the podcast continue to grow.
So I put 2,000 for this year and it didn't hit, but I'm going to keep it like him. But I'm also going to go a step further because I feel like we're starting to figure out our us online. Yes. Like I did this year. It took me how long of doing social media to figure out me online.
Yep.
And now that I've kind of figured out the secret sauce, I can use it for casual conversations. But I'm going to go a step further, 2,000 subscribers, but we're going to have 2 viral episodes.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
Because if we become viral, then the followers will follow.
I like that. I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go into family. I already talked about kind of want to move. Travel. Just travel.
Yep.
So I broke it down last year into 3 main things of traveling. I put, and I'm going to keep it on this year because it happened for me that I get to go travel back to New Mexico Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 to see my family.
Wow. That's Elena's family out there. She's making a commitment to see you guys once a quarter.
And that happened this year. We were able to do that. So we had so much family time. So that's important to me. And it's the New Mexico flag because even though my family's in California, they're still my New Mexico family. So that is going to be continued on to next year.
I love it. For me, I want to have on the travel side, which will be a lot because that's where we spend the majority of our time. I would like to do a husband-wife trip. I think Allison and I did that last year, and we thought that it's just super important just for her and I to go do a trip. And we typically always bring our friends and family, but just to connect one-on-one and to shut out the noise is just do at least one trip a year where it's just my wife and I. Yeah. So I've already got an idea of where I want to go. She knows where I want to go. But we'll see if we make that happen. But a trip, a lone trip, husband and wife trip next year.
Do it. Okay. So I put, so Cole and I have decided that because Cole and I used to do that, our weddings in May over Memorial Weekend. And we didn't get to go on a honeymoon our first year because 1, we didn't have money. But 2, that's when my business started to take off. And we just made the choice to go all in on the business. And he just started a new coaching job too. So anyways, the following year, our first year, we decided that for our anniversary, he and I would travel somewhere new. A new adventure. So we want to get back to that. So we would travel in May. I know that for sure. End of May, early June. We haven't decided where, but it would be just us again.
Love it.
So that's on our board. And then another trip like Italy with our son. We haven't decided where. My husband and I have talked about this, so I haven't put like what date or where. And you have to be very specific of what you want. So I'm not going to go in New Year just be like, we just want to travel. I have to be very specific of where I want to go.
Okay. I want to see another beach. So we will do a beach trip next year. We're going to make that happen. I'm pretty sure we've already got one on the books. It's probably kind of a goal that I already know I'm going to achieve, but it would have been something that I would have wanted to achieve anyway. So
we're on the books.
We are on the books. We are going to pinpoint. So we're going to Hawaii. We're going back to Hawaii again. We kind of understood. Well, and I think we got Florida too. But again, I still would have put it on my vision board to make sure we accomplish it. But want to get back to Hawaii. We've kind of understood why people wanted to go. And thankfully, because of my daughter, we get that opportunity again. Yeah. So shout out to her hard work and cheer. Mm-hmm. They get to go to Hawaii. My son is passing on it, so it's
Yeah.
just gonna be 3 of us again on this trip, which is gonna be kind of weird. But as
Yeah.
he's getting older, we're kind of starting to see these things. But
See, my
yeah,
siblings lucked out too because in growing up with college or in club soccer, we went to regionals twice, and both
Mhm.
times we're in Hawaii. So we got to go to Hawaii twice.
Oh my gosh,
I'm like,
see,
come on, siblings, and you guys
yes,
hated me playing soccer. We got to go to Hawaii.
yes,
Anyway, so I love that. So yeah, I got to go back with Cole where we want to travel with Keenan because realistically, if we have twins,
yep,
I like to have the twins at the end of the year.
yep,
Being specific at
yep.
the end of the year so we can do all the things with business and travel and then kind of wind down as a new mom or as a mom with new babies. So yeah.
Another trip that we want to do with our family, and it has not finalized yet, but it's something that has been on our radar. It's somewhere Allison's wanted to go for a long time, and is specific. So Mackinac Island in Michigan.
Oh, cool.
So we hopefully we can make that happen in the summer months. But
Yeah.
that's somewhere Allison's always wanted to go. We want to make that a family trip to go do that with Amber's side of the family.
Yeah.
So my
Oh,
mom's side of
nice.
the family, my grandma's getting up there in age. It's one of the few places that she's never been. She's always wanted to travel to Michigan. So our goal, because we're running out of those years with my grandma
Yeah.
where she could still travel and want to travel,
Yeah.
to make those memories with her. Michigan is somewhere she wanted to go. We think we're going to be able to make that happen. So we would like to go to Mackinac Island in this summer. So,
All right, there you go.
all right. So I'll add that later. I gotta
Yeah,
keep
add it,
writing.
so it's very specific. One thing that I want to tap into that we started to do, but I want to make it a habit. Like one thing that's been eating at me my whole life is I want to have a consistent workout routine where I want to work out. Working out is part of my lifestyle. Like
So
hanging out with your friends.
but you're
is part
putting
of your
this as part of your well-being, a part of your
My well-being.
what category? Okay, well-being.
I don't
Yep.
want to be, you see here, I don't say skinny. I want to be strong and I want to be fit and I want to be disciplined.
I like that. So I've got well-being on it was one of my categories as well, and disciplined was one of the main ones. So continue to eat right, work out regularly, do my walks with my wife, which again we're gonna put all these on there, guys. We'll maybe take a picture at the end of this thing as well, just because for sake of time, we don't want to have to keep dropping this, but this will be specifics on mine. I've got them all written down right here so as everyone can see. I just got transferred over.
Yeah.
But walks with my wife, which we love to do. And be disciplined where I'm at least moving my body 3 to 4 times a week as far as weightlifting or in the gym, and then continue to really focus on my food and what I eat. So that is also a big focus for me next year is my well-being. Health is a massive
Health
one.
is wealth.
If you're not healthy, you got nothing.
Yeah.
So, and my wife and I, like I said, not where we want to be, but we made strides we did make adjustments this year and we made progress, which is a big deal.
And then my last one on here, and I think I'm going to go back and add more. So I'll do that. But my last one would be like, I want to create my own personal brand. And last year I put for this year to I put clothes and stuff because I don't know fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I just usually wear like leggings and a shirt. I'm call it a day. But I'm starting to kind of figure out my style and clothes and who I am as a person. But I want to also like tie that into my social media, like my personal brand. Like when you think of Elena, what do you think?
Yeah.
Like it's so strong that people know this is who Elena is. So
that comes from with how you wear and what you do, what you dress. They say dress to impress, or you are what you wear. Is what people say. So, I think that's a great one. Another one for me for next year is spirituality. I want to spend more time serving others.
Mm-hmm.
I want to spend more involvement in our church. Allison and I do the evenings for Engaged. I want to continue to do that. And I want to pray more. I want to spend more time praying as a family, but daily prayer is something that I really want to be dedicated to next year. I think it's very important, and without God, we've got nothing. And it's going to be a big priority for me for next year.
You know what I'm going to add, because I'll add a section, is I want to find our home for church. And it's really been hard to find one because we've moved so much. But next year when we find our family home, which will have to be in the summer because our kids start school.
Make the drive up to St. Philip's, although it'd be a 30-minute drive for you every single time you want to go to church. But I think you would feel at home at St. Philip's
I would really like to find that because I think the older I get, I'm obviously more spiritual these days. Cole's starting to tap into that as well. But our son, he goes to faith-based school. He says all the time, God, he loves God. I wake up every morning and say, thank you, God, for another day of my son. He goes, thank you, God, for another day of my mommy. So I want to continue that with him.
Well, the starting every day with gratitude, right? Every day is a blessing. And, it's a day that you get, another day you get to live, which is, that's robbed from a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we take it for granted because we just assume it's going to be there.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good one.
So I know people give me some shit doing ChatGPT But what I would highly recommend if you've never done a vision board is,
It
uh,
gives you a good direction. All it does, like for me, not to interrupt
yeah.
Elena
Oh, you're
here,
fine.
but I did that for ChatGPT too, more just on, okay, what are the categories? How should one be kind of laid out? And it's just all I think chat does is chat gives you, because sometimes you have these ideas in your head, but you can't articulate it or you can't figure out how to, a jumping off
Yeah.
point. It gives you the jumping
But
off
you
point and then
don't
you start to build from
Yeah,
there.
but you don't know what you don't know. And yeah, you can go on Pinterest, but ChatGPT is able to make decisions for you quicker, as in you got to give it demands and say, I'm creating my first vision board. These are the things I accomplished this year. This is what I want to piggyback on next year. This is what I want to do next year on addition. Whatever, you got to be very detailed in it and say, help me create my first vision board. What do I need to know about creating one? And I would use it, and then I would go in there and kind of analyze your year, and then build for your next year.
And then make the adjustments,
Yeah,
right?
and then you can
So
make the business plan from
and,
there.
and as you can see, as we're just spitballing ideas, like it's almost so hard to even narrow it down. Like this is going to be, she talked about 16. I'm probably going to end up having double that, right? And it's a lot of little things, right? So it's like, my son graduating high school. He graduates high school. I want to see him graduate and, be there for that graduation and make a big deal for his graduation. So I have his picture of a graduation hat right here. I want to see Addison
Yeah.
continue to cheer and because she loves to cheer. I want to see her and be there to support her cheer. So these are all kind of a part of our family and relationships. I want my wife and my kids to be happy.
Yeah.
I want to have them be peaceful and
Mhm.
joyful and living their best lives and doing the things that they love to do. Like those are the visions for success to
And
me.
I will tell you, there are going to be people that if you share your vision board, they might make you feel guilty. They might make you feel silly for your dreams and things. Don't put stuff on there just because you're putting stuff on there. Really put stuff on there because you want to see that happen. And if you do, and you have that outside noise, you have to learn to block it.
Yeah, you got to focus on what's in the important things. And like I said, what I think for me, when I just started writing things down initially, before we kind of started doing this as the example, was just how it just kept spearheading and like, oh, well, this is important. And like when you look at, like I said, doing outdoor walks with Allison, working out 3 to 4 days a week, reading 20 pages a day, praying every single day, getting back to meditation, I getting on my Calm app. It's a 10-minute, literally 10 minutes in the morning, slow, quiet mornings. I want to be able to get up, have a quiet morning, plunge, have my 10 minutes of meditation, set myself up for the day in the right mindset to go attack the day. I've got to do these things going into next year, especially coming off the last couple of years that have been kind of rough. It's that self-reflection that we've talked about before, as well as, okay, what adjustments do I need to make that are going to be really important to me? And what I'm going to put on these things are going to be very important for me to accomplish for next year. So,
And you know what I think I might try is I'm going to add more verbiage on my photo, and then I'm going to upload this photo to ChatGPT and tell them, what do you think I need to do to make these things happen? I just want to see what it says.
yeah.
Like, ask me as many questions you need to know about my year, who I am as a person, and then help me create a plan to accomplish all these things. And I want to see what it spits out.
So I think on the professional financial growth, the more we talk about this, is becoming more well-versed in ChatGPT because it's such a tool. And I have used it a lot this year, again, just for agendas and jumping off points. And how do I verbalize this to my team? And if, this is my vision, how do I turn this vision into bullet points so that it's easy for these guys to follow? It's such a helpful tool. It's it is so efficient. It spits out this information. So I'm going to add that to my professional financial growth, as well as becoming more well-versed in ChatGPT because it is such a tool and it's free. Oh, well, we're practically free.
But I mean, I look at it as like, yesterday when I was doing the labels for my ornaments, sent out my clients, I literally, because I forgot to create the Excel sheet, that would have taken me so much time to do. And I just was curious, and I said, hey, I need to create Excel sheet labels. I didn't have an Excel sheet created. If I give you the addresses, can you create it? Yep. I uploaded everything and go, there, you're going to create it in the Avery labels format for me.
Yeah.
And then we just sent it to the printer.
Yeah. And we just got our gift because I'm one of her clients. Very cool. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody out there because you'll get yours in the mail, but very cool thing and a nice personal touch from the Sweetster team this year. And again, you guys, like I said, this was just a jumping off point. I think I will eventually go to digital. It probably makes more sense in this big old board. So
it's good to have in your office.
For me, so I'm still going to have it in my office. It's a visual for me. I'm a visual person. I like to learn from these things.
But I'm going to help you create this digital, and then I want you to throw it in your ChatGPT and see what it says too.
Okay, I love it.
Because you can't just have pictures, you also have to plan. And I think a lot of things happen because I had a business plan printed before for my business. And obviously business creates money, money creates your lifestyle.
Yeah.
But
living on a calendar more next year for me, that's another big one, is really just being so structured. I think that I do very well when I'm structured, because it's like, okay, these are the things I got to accomplish in my day. And I think that's why my wife is so well accomplished and why she achieves so much. I'm taking a kind of a play out of her playbook, which is you got to live on a calendar. I never thought I was going to say that, but
Color coded too.
well, it is. And you just have to do it. It just keeps you focused. It allows you to continue to make sure you cross off those targets that you need to get done, and to be successful. And as much things as I get pulled into, as many directions as I get pulled into, I've got to have structure. I got to have my time management on lock. These are all going to be things that fall under my professional financial growth for next year. This is just how you get better. This is how you grow. And I do believe that when I look back at this at the end of 2026, it's going to be very cool. I think what I'm going to purposely do is maybe not look at it for the last couple months of the year, similar to what Alana did, and just let the tail end of, and then naturally ride it out, and then open it up at the end, and then sit down with my family and go, okay, what was accomplished off this thing, and
mark it off together.
Exactly.
That'd be cool if actually you could have Allison
Cross
do
it
like
off.
the Velcro on the back, and every time something happens, you rip it off your board.
Yeah, I like it.
That's cool. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this. Let us know if you're going to dip into vision boards. I actually am going to post on my personal the ChatGPT what happens with it.
Okay.
I want to see what it does, and then obviously share that with you guys, because if it can, why work harder when we can work smarter? Yeah,
I agree. And they said we have these tools at our disposal. We need to use them. And again, guys, for the end of the year, we hope you guys have a phenomenal Christmas. And, I hope you guys start out the new year. Again, this will be the first episode you guys listen to after the new year. Shout out to my wife for having us do this for you guys, and for us to bounce these ideas off each other, which is something I wanted to do. I'm actually looking forward to finishing this vision board today. I can't wait to kind of see it. I'll share it with Alana. Actually, I'll take a picture of it.
Please do.
And we'll send it. We'll share it on Casual Conversations, so you guys can see what the finished one looks like. It's not going to be as nice and fancy as hers, but it'll be real. And it'll at least be my handwriting and everything. But we'll share that today. And again, guys, look at your 2026, start your year off correctly. And to everyone that continue to support us, like us, and share us over the course of the last 2 seasons, thank you so much.
We're not quitting.
We're not quitting.